Hey, coming at you live tonight with a amazing amped unplugged interview with the Dr. Cornell Zeus Cornish. I'm excited that he's on with us tonight. It's gonna be awesome. I love Zeus. I love what he's up to. I love his passion. I love his transparency when he speaks to groups and doctors, students, and even his practice members. And that's why he's so successful because he's real. He loves the principle, and he's doing it in a big way. And I'm just excited to have you on, Zeus. I know you got two practices in Dallas area. You guys are opening up your third practice. Just go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little about what you're up to, bud.
So I'm Dr. Cornell Cornish, go by Dr. Zeus, and we're my wife and I, Dr. Tiandra Cornish. She runs the show down here in Dallas, Texas. So we have two practices, one in Dallas, Texas, one in DeSoto, Texas, about 20 minutes south of the city of Dallas. And we're just having a great time, man, just rocking and rolling and serving our communities and just loving it at the same time while raising a family and being congruent. It's awesome.
Yeah, man, I can kind of feel Tiandra like hit me in the back of the head for not mentioning her. Tiandra, I'm so sorry. Here I'm talking about Zeus. She's like, nah, let me tell you about Zeus. Let me tell you about Zeus. So that's awesome. Yeah, Dr. Tiandra is obviously a big cog in the wheel there, if not the wheel itself. But yeah, so I know she's awesome too. So you guys are doing it big time. I mean, there's so much success you had in just a short amount of time. But man, let's just go back and talk about maybe a challenging moment or two. If you can think back, something challenging. I mean, obviously we know that a big thing we talk about is if you want to increase your success, you double your failure rate. Meaning, like, the more failures you have, the more lessons you learn, the quicker you're going to succeed. But in the midst of failure, man, in the midst of some circumstances, it's no fun. Share maybe a circumstance or maybe a big failure that you've had, a storm, but man, you come out of it, how you learn from it.
I'd say one of our biggest challenges, the most challenging moment for us was when we started out the gates really, really, really slow, and it took us about a year to even break 100 visits a week, and then within that next year, we got up to about 250 visits a week.
Wow.
We grew that practice, and then we got stuck and stagnant. We tried different forms of marketing. None of that worked. We even got desperate and tried shortening up our care plans and our recommendations, and that didn't work either. And to see the new doctors opening up their offices through the Jumpstart program and killing it from day one, it really revitalized me because I said, man, I know I can do this. I can do this at a high level. So Dr. Tiandra, we were driving one day and we had a lot of practice members that came from the south part of Dallas, and she said, we need to open up a second practice because a lot of our practice members come from here. So we decided to open up that second practice, but this time we did everything right from marketing to negotiating a lease through the Jumpstart program, which was really hard for me because I had to humble myself and say, man, I really need this help. I'm not really sure of what we're doing. We've got to 250 by the grace of God, but I'm not sure what we're doing. We need this help. And to humble myself and put myself into the Jumpstart program, it was really challenging for me. But we did it. And in 8 months, we broke 345 visits a week in that new practice, man. And that challenging moment became one of the big successes for us.
Yeah, that's huge, man. And just thinking back about, it's challenging to think back about it, but it's really a blessing because, like you said, even, I mean, because I've been there, man. You start making desperate moves like lowering the care plans. You start thinking it's you. You start thinking it's a care plan. You start pointing the finger at everything, man. But, it's not chiropractic. We can't sit here and blame this on chiropractic, man. Chiropractic works. We can't sit here and blame it on proper systems. If you use proven methods and proven models, chiropractic works. It works within the framework, and I love the fact that, because I mean, pride, man. We've all been in situations where we don't want to go back, But I love the fact that and humbled yourself in the sense of not you yourself, but just the fact of, man, I'm gonna go back to ground zero and start this over. I remember you doing that. It's awesome, man. I remember you plugging in, and I still remember you said that you would listen to Dr. Michael Viscarelli or myself or the other AMP leaders, and you would take what they said, but you would change it up a little bit to match your own authenticity, which is true.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you would change it around and change make it more southern, right?
Yeah. Got to make it your own, man. You got to make it your own, own it and make it your own.
Yeah. And so now you're having a lot of success, and it's exciting for you and Tiandra, and you can provide for your family like you want to, and have the life you want. But man, to serve, because we get the ability to serve every day in our practices, and I'll be the first to admit it. I take it for granted sometimes, about the level of service we can have and how we choose to do what we do, and we get to serve, and I love that. And we have to remind ourselves that it's not us, man. It's chiropractic, and it's God that's using us. But man, just so you've had all the success. Share maybe a breakthrough or two that you've had recently that you'd like to share with everybody.
Well, one of our, I would say one of the biggest breakthroughs, the latest one, is educating our team, training them on analogies, how to hand out handouts, and giving away complimentary assessment calls for referrals. We can know these things like the back of our hand. When I say we, the doctors, all right? We can know this like the back of our hand. But if your team don't know these things, the people who see the practice members twice versus you only seeing them once while you're adjusting them, if that team isn't sharp, then you're losing out because you're losing referrals, and education is not happening the way you want because you're focused on adjustment. So we have really became a true referral-based practice by educating our team and going back to the basics. And that's one thing we didn't know how to do before AMP, because through watching modules, man, we learned how to specifically break down and educate our team, teaching them rubber band analogy, teaching them different analogies on how to properly educate people and just address the objections. And that's been huge for us, man. We're truly becoming a referral-based practice, and it's amazing.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants, right? Referral-based practice. And funny is you don't start. People say when we go to the schools, man, you've been to a lot of college with us. They say raise your hand if you want a referral-based practice, right?
Yeah.
But if you start at zero, how do you start with referrals, right? You got to put the butts in the seats and then change over time to referral-based practice. I love that. So true, man. If your team doesn't get it, man, you're really missing the boat. And I love the fact that you guys are plugging in at the team conferences, and you'll be excited to hear that our last team call that we had for team members, CAs, was all about connecting with practice members and getting referrals, and our next team call is actually all about analogies. And it's simple stuff. They're not chiropractic analogies, man, but you know what? The practice members are simple. They want simple analogies. They want you to break it down for them. They want you to make sense of a complicated situation, which really isn't that complicated when you make it simple. I love that. Good stuff, man. I'm glad your team's plugging. You got a great team, by the way. I love your team members, and I know that technically you're actually part of the team. Tiandra runs the show, right? Where are you at on that? Where are you at on that spectrum? Are you?
I do most of the training, and Dr. Tiandra does the organizing, man. I love that training and getting those team members going, and it's awesome, man. I really love it.
Yeah, get them buzzing. So, well, if a doc's listening tonight or just kind of scrolling through our YouTube page here and happens to fall on this video, what would you like to tell the doctors out there, whether they be a year or two in or 10 or 20 years in?
Man, I like to tell the docs, man, that this thing, this isn't a sprint. It's not a sprint, not at all. It is not a sprint. If you're not spending time preparing, if you're not spending time training your team, going to find mentors, or if you already have mentors diving in, if you're not spending time to learn everything you can learn from those people, you're in trouble. And you're almost foolish because you spend about 250 G's on chiropractic school, right? And if you're not spending time preparing, you might as well go to the casino, put that money, those 250 stacks, on the roulette wheel on number 0, because you're basically betting away with your future. You're just gambling. and you're going to lose because you're going to get that zero. You're going to get zero return on your investment from not preparing and organizing now. So let's get all in. I know from this experience, man, this experience, tough times, get all in and let's let the good times roll because it feels really, really good when the good times are rolling.
I love it. Yeah, it sure does. That's good. How about a student? What would you tell a student?
I tell a student, if you're not spending half of your time, if you're in a trimester or if you're in a quarter and you're not spending half of those weekends screening for doctors and spending time around doctors who want to invest in you, then you are foolish. You are foolish because there's tools out here. There's clubs. There's the clubs like the AMP Club that you can go to every week and learn everything you need to know and be sharp as a doctor who's been in practice 3 or 4 years when you get out. So dive in.
Absolutely love it. Yeah, so true. So many tools for students to plug into, so much information, and there's so many docs part of the AMP community that are willing to give and really willing to share knowledge, and I love that about the AMP community. And you yourself, man, I mean, you pour your heart out to so many students and so many docs. I appreciate it. It's a thankless world sometimes, but I thank you. So, man, what are you most excited about right now in your life and practice, or what's exciting to you, and what do you guys, you and Tiandra, what's most exciting, and what do you guys charge up about?
I'll tell you, man, the most exciting thing right now is us opening up multiple practice, and honestly, we just had an associate that moved down this week, Dr. Brianna Shiley from Sherman Chiropractic College. She's going to be taking care of taking over our Dallas office. And here's why I'm excited. Dr. German, we've made plenty of mistakes by being unprepared. I hung out with Michael. I hung out with Dr. Brower. I hung out with Dr. Kowalski, and I went to school with these guys, and I didn't do what they were doing, But now that things are different and we're doing what we need to do, we get to bless other new doctors that may have either had doubts about opening up straight out of school on their own, those who were just probably unprepared like we were, or those that just can't flat out afford to do it on their own. And we get to bless them with so much knowledge and honesty and clarity of how to grow a family referral-based practice while having a support system that's going to prevent them from having any kind of starvation period as a new DC. And that's very exciting. So be on the lookout for practice number 3 and 4 from CTC Chiropractic, because that's what we're working on. That's really exciting, man, that we really get to bless other people and put them in a position to be in a position that we're in, man. And that's truly, truly exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting. And I know your vision is to take over Dallas and take over New Orleans specifically. There might be more than that, I know, but I know those 2 cities are yours. You're claiming them for chiropractic. I love that. So
absolutely.
Cool, man. Final thoughts. Any final thoughts for the viewers?
Absolutely. I'll tell you my final thoughts. Pretty much, it works like this. I am so thankful for God. I'm thankful for my wife and my family. I'm thankful for our community, for those people who trust in us with their health, man. And it's been amazing. And not to mention last, man, I'm really thankful for AMP and all of the leaders and mentors. Without them, I'm not sure we'd even still be in practice right now doing the things we're doing. Man, we're coming up to the Breckenridge Conference. We're taking 14 family members with us. That's also included our associate because she's been a part of our family, and we're paying for everything. And that's because of AMP. Now, for you guys that don't know me, I do not BS. I do not bullcrap. I pay monthly for these systems and procedures and these tools just like you do. I do the same thing. So you have to give credit where credit is due, because this is a results-driven and results-proven system that has impacted not just my life, not just other doctors around the country, but millions of people throughout the country and the nation through this program, because we're taking over these communities, right? So, if you don't think that these guys are just impacting you, and I'm gonna say I don't think they're just impacting us financially, but these guys are spiritually strong. Yeah, these guys believe in God. Mentally, they keep my mind right. They keep my wife's mind right. And they damn sure got our pockets right. So if you're like me and like the Kenyans who typically start a race off slow, but they finish strong, be patient. Be patient because this is not a sprint, guys. This is a marathon, and I had to realize that through hardships. So you can still win the marathon if you started out slow. You can still win. So get on the ball, slow your pace down. Don't base your other people's success on your success on what you're doing, and just focus on you. And like Dr. Mike always say, keep the main thing, and let's all be successful and celebrate together. I'm out, guys. Peace.
Man, that is preach it, Zeus. That's awesome. A lot of good word there, and I love that. Good stuff, man. I don't want to ruin what you said. It was sweet. So people need to rewind that and listen to it again about not a sprint, it's a marathon, and be careful. Compete against your own self. Love it. Hey, man, Zeus, how do people get a hold of you if they want to get a hold of you? Facebook, Instagram, where you at?
I'm on Facebook, I'm Cornell Cornish, Cornell Zeus Cornish, Zeus, Zeus, or Instagram, I'm Cornc953. My wife is TLC 24 on Instagram, and she's Dr. Tiandra Cornish on Facebook. And our practice is CTC Chiropractic. It's ctcchiropractic.com. You guys can find us, reach out, whatever we can help you with, man. We'll be glad to share whatever we have, whatever you need. So I'm excited. Thank you guys for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome. Love that you guys reach out to me. My name is Dr. Jeremy Hess. Facebook, Jeremy-Amanda Hess. Instagram, we're on Instagram, drs.hess on Instagram. And you know where you can reach us both at ampednow.com. Plug in, get tuned up, and we look forward to seeing you at a live event, conference, or just on a hangout sometime. Thanks, everybody, for being on, and hopefully you enjoyed this.